If you're cruising out of Seattle and flying in, I want to let you in on the best kept secret for getting from the airport to your cruise ship or downtown hotel. And it's going to cost you a whopping $3. Hi, I'm Tiffany from Destination for Vacation. Thanks for joining me. Seattle's Link Light Rail is hands down the easiest, most affordable, and most stress-free way to travel between Seattle-Tacoma International Airport and downtown Seattle. Since I discovered it, I'll never go back to a taxi, shuttle, or rideshare for this trip. $3 each way, that's it. When I initially looked into using the Link Light Rail, I was a little hesitant about trying it because I was traveling by myself for this cruise and I had an enormous suitcase with me. In my mind, I was picturing riding the New York City subway during rush hour with a suitcase the size of a Ford Fiesta. But I had read great reviews about the Link Light Rail, so I decided to give it a try. This line is impressive. Clean, quiet, efficient, and roomy. The line you'll want to take is called the One Line, operated by Sound Transit. It runs directly from the SeaTac Airport station all the way up through downtown Seattle, and the ride takes about 38 minutes. Trains run every 8 to 10 minutes throughout the day, so you won't have to wait long. It's very clean, it's air-conditioned, and there was plenty of room for my oversized luggage. When you land at Seattle-Tacoma International Airport and collect your bags at baggage claim, look for the signs for the Link Light Rail. This sounds a little complicated, but it's really not. You'll want to head to Baggage Carousel 16, go up one floor to the Skybridge level, cross Skybridge 6, and then turn left through the parking garage. It's about a 5-minute walk, all level. If mobility is a concern, there's a free electric cart shuttle that runs between the terminal Skybridge and the station. Just look around for it, or you can ask the airport staff. Once you reach the station, you'll find several ticket machines right on the mezzanine level before you head up to the platform. They're placed all around this level, so if there's a line at one, just look around for others. During my trip, I noticed people forming lines by the most visible machines, yet there were plenty of other empty machines nearby. They just didn't notice them. You could pay with cash or credit card, or download the Transit Go Ticket app and buy your ticket before you even land. You can also pick up an Orca card. That's Seattle's reusable transit card for just $3, and you can load it and tap it for all your rides while you're in town. I just chose to use my credit card for one ticket, and the process was quick and easy. The fare from the airport to downtown's Westlake Station is $3. That's the flat adult fare for that trip. Keep your ticket with you. There are occasional fare checks on board, although that didn't happen during my trip. The station has escalators as well as roomy elevators, so it's easy to go up a deck with your suitcases. On the platform, you'll see 2 tracks. Make sure you board the train heading toward Linwood City Center. That's the northbound direction, which takes you into Seattle. If you forget, don't worry. The signage and maps make it crystal clear where to go. If your cruise ship is departing from Pier 66, the Bell Street Cruise Terminal, which is the terminal right near Pike Place Market on the south end of the downtown waterfront, you'll ride all the way to Westlake Station. That's the main downtown stop right in the heart of the city, and it's where most of the downtown hotels are clustered as well. From Westlake Station, it's about a 13 to 15-minute walk to Pier 66. Norwegian Cruise Line and Oceania cruises are currently the primary lines sailing from this terminal. And if you want to pop into Pike Place Market before your ship departs, it is literally right there. You practically walk past it on the way to the pier. This is one of the great perks of this particular terminal. But not every cruise passenger will be so lucky. Seattle actually has 2 cruise terminals, and the Link Light Rail works beautifully for one of them, but not the other. Pier 91, also called the Smith Cove Cruise Terminal, is located several miles north of downtown in a neighborhood called Magnolia. This is where Holland America, Carnival, Princess, Celebrity, Royal Caribbean, and several other major cruise lines operate from. Unfortunately, there is no light rail stop at Pier 91. It's simply not accessible by rail on its own. But if you are sailing from Pier 91, it still might be worthwhile taking the Link Light Rail from the airport to Westlake Station. You'll save a significant amount of money compared to a taxi or rideshare from the airport all the way out to Magnolia. From Westlake, you can grab an Uber or Lyft for the remaining distance to Pier 91, which is typically about a 10 to 15 minute ride. My Uber trip from Westlake to Pier 91 ran about $20, compared to $50 or $60 going directly from the airport. So even with the transfer, the light rail saves you real money. What you have to decide is that transfer worth it? If you want to skip the rideshare entirely, there are dedicated cruise shuttle services that run between the airport and both terminals. Seattle Express and Premier Airport Shuttle both serve Pier 91, but you'll need a reservation in advance. Everything I've described works just as well in reverse. If you're coming back from a Norwegian or Oceania cruise at Pier 66, it's an easy 15-minute walk back up Bell Street to Westlake Station, where you can hop on the 1 line southbound toward Federal Way. Ride it all the way to SeaTac Airport Station, 38 minutes, $3, and you're at the airport. It doesn't get much simpler than that. But for this trip, I wasn't sailing from Pier 66. My ship was sailing from Pier 91. So let me tell you what I did for this cruise, which worked out beautifully and made it such a fun pre- and post-cruise experience. I always fly in at least one day before my cruise. I've just experienced too many flight delays and cancellations over my years of traveling for business. So paying a couple $100s to stay in a hotel the night before is my form of travel insurance. The peace of mind of making it to the city the night before is absolutely worth it for me. I took the Link light rail straight from the airport to Symphony Station. $3, little over a half hour with plenty of interesting things to look at along the way. I stayed at the Kimpton Monaco, which is just a few blocks from the station. While the walk was short, there was about a 2-block uphill stretch to get there. But even though I was wheeling a huge suitcase behind me, I was fine. And the bonus, at least in my mind, was this little 2-block workout gave me free rein to eat whatever I wanted on board the ship for the next week, because I had surely walked off all those calories in advance. I had never been to Seattle before, so I decided to spend 2 nights there pre-cruise so I could explore. I spent the next day exploring the International District, which is within walkable distance from the hotel, or you could take the light rail there. While I hadn't originally planned it, I ended up spending the entire day in the International District. There was that much to see and do. It's a great option even if you only have an afternoon to fill before or after your cruise. It was great, and I can't wait to return on a future trip to Seattle. The next morning, since my ship was a Holland America sailing from Pier 91 at Smith Cove, I took an Uber from the hotel directly to the terminal. As I mentioned earlier in this video, Pier 91 isn't really convenient to walk from downtown, so that's the right call for that terminal. Now, here's what I was most impressed about for my return trip, and this is a tip every Seattle cruiser should know about. When my cruise returned to Seattle, I had an evening flight home. Rather than dragging my suitcase around the city all day, I used a completely free service called Port Valet, offered by the Port of Seattle. I enrolled on board. The process is very easy. But you can also sign up online for the service before your cruise even begins. My boarding pass and special luggage tags were delivered right to my stateroom. I put my suitcase outside my cabin door the night before our cruise ended, just like you would typically do. And that was the last I saw it until my return flight landed and I was at my home airport baggage carousel. How easy is that? Port Valet transfers your luggage directly from the ship and checks it through to your airline. No waiting at the ticket counter, no hauling bags through the city. It works with most major airlines including Alaska, American, Delta, Southwest, and United, as long as your flight departs after noon. That meant I could walk off the ship with just my personal bag, jump in an Uber to Pike Place Market, grab a coffee, oh, who am I kidding? Grab 3 coffees, peruse the interesting stalls, And then I simply strolled over and hopped on the Link Light Rail to the airport. $3 and a smooth, scenic ride later, I was right back at the airport. This may have been one of the smoothest, most enjoyable post-cruise travel days I've ever had. And this is going to be my system for any future cruises out of Seattle. Seattle is a spectacular city to spend a day or two in before or after your cruise, and the light rail makes it so easy to explore. Westlake Station puts you within walking distance of Pike Place Market, the waterfront, the Seattle Art Museum, and dozens of great restaurants. It's a fantastic home base. So, for me, Seattle's Link Light Rail is the only way to go when transferring from the airport to a downtown hotel or a cruise leaving from Pier 66. I don't have to worry about surge pricing or traffic congestion. I show up, I buy a ticket, and I'm on my way. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please consider giving it a thumbs up, as it really does help smaller channels like mine. Also, you may want to consider subscribing and hitting that little notification bell, because even more cruise-related videos are on their way. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you again soon in one of these videos. Until then, here's hoping your next adventure is just around the corner.